Hello, everyone. Welcome back for the second time today. Again, if you weren't with us earlier, I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday weekend. We are running around like crazy, fulfilling orders from our Cyber Week. And for those of you who have known us for a while, you know that every year for our Cyber Week, we pick two rescue organizations and donate a portion of every single order. And we also have a way for you to donate on our website. And this year, one of our chosen rescue organizations is called Laps and Naps, which is very cool. It's basically rescue for senior cats. And I have with me today Nancy Gavin, the co-founder and president. Welcome, Nancy.
Thank you.
So this is pretty cool. First of all, I love the name Laps and Naps. I mean, of course, what do senior cats do? They sit on your lap and take a nap. So perfect. So give us a little background. How did Laps and Naps start? How did it come to be?
Okay, well, I have worked in several careers that did not involve animals, but for most of my adult life, I've been volunteering for various rescues, and this working exclusively with cats. I am definitely a cat person. I just connect with their energy. But the saddest cases that came in were the senior cats, and they may have lived in the same home for all of their lives, and their person died or had to move into assisted living, and suddenly they found themselves in a cage, and they were just devastated. So I had a vision of starting a rescue just for senior cats, and hopefully one day we will have a sanctuary for them, but right now we are a foster based rescue and we try to keep senior cats out of shelters and place them directly in homes. And then as we have homes available, we do pull the cats from shelters and place them in homes.
And how big is your reach? You're located in Western North Carolina, but how big is the reach of Laps and Naps?
Well, we just started in 2020, so we're relatively new, and we started right before the country shut down. So we count 2021 as our first real year in business. So we're basically centered in Western North Carolina around the Asheville and Hendersonville areas. But we have foster homes. We have a foster home in Greenville, South Carolina. We have one in Tennessee. We have one in Hickory, North Carolina. And I just received an application for someone in Greensboro, North Carolina, who wants to foster for us.
Awesome.
But we take in cats from all over. Since we're fairly close to the South Carolina and Tennessee borders, we have taken cats in from South Carolina and Tennessee and adopted them out to those states. And we've brought cats all the way from the coast. And a couple of the cats that I wanted to highlight today are currently on the coast, still in their homes, but in need of a home. So I was hoping with your outreach, you could reach the people out closer to the coast to find these cats a home.
We have followers all over the world, so you never know who might be tuning in and who might see this. So who is this little one in the photo?
Well, this is River, and she is located in Oriental, North Carolina, so down on the coast. And so she's a good 7-8 hours from us. But she is a youngster to us. She's only 8 years old. And the reason the people need to rehome her is her owners left and couldn't take her with them. And she's being kept in a shed, a nice shed, but she's being kept in a shed right now. And she is absolutely terrified of males. So she needs to go to a female-only household. They say, apparently she had a bad experience with a male, and she will urinate if a male walks into the room. She's traumatized.
Poor thing.
But she's a very sweet kitty with females.
Aw. Okay, so River is looking. Now, if somebody is interested in adopting or fostering, they would go to your website, correct?
Correct. They would go to the Adopt Foster page of our website, and we have applications down at the bottom of that page.
Okay, and the
website can be downloaded.
lapsandnaps.org.
Correct.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about Lily. There's another one that's on the coast, it looks like.
Yes, actually, I got the name wrong. Her name is actually Lynn, and she's 13
Lynn,
years
okay.
old. And her owner had bone cancer. So I believe it was a family member who took her in, but he's in the military and his housing doesn't allow him to keep cats. So he is desperately seeking a home for Lynn Lily. But
Okay.
she's 13 years old. She's very sweet. She gets along with other cats, with dogs, with children. So she would be a perfect cat for any family.
Awesome. All right. Then we have, is this Olivia?
Miss Olivia, she is actually in Texas. The reason we were contacted, her owner lives here, but she was adopted from a rescue in Texas. And this happens so often. After the family brought in some younger cats, Olivia decided that she wanted to be a one and only cat, so she started urinating everywhere. And they tried everything. They went through the vet and got all the recommendations on litter boxes and calming supplements and different litters. But she just clearly wants to be an only cat and would even urinate on them. So the reason she ended up back in Texas is the rescue that she was adopted from took her back, but she's in a foster home living in a bathroom. And it's just devastating her former owner. And he reached out to us to try to find her a home where she can be a one and only. And her former owner works for the airline, so he can get her here from Texas very quickly.
Oh, there you
So
go.
if anyone is interested in Olivia, then they would get her here from Texas. But it's just a really sad case. She's only 10 years old.
Yeah, I have an older female kitty, and we have right now 9 cats, but only 2 in the house. And she would love to be an only cat, and she will urinate. There's no way she's ever going to be an only cat, and she will urinate. After her brother passed from cancer, she became much better. I think her brother was being a little bit
Oh,
of an instigator with her. Um, but we finally have solved her litter box issue with a different litter box in a different place, but they can be really, really, really tricky, and it's very sad for everybody thinks that you can have multiple dogs, and dogs generally get along. Multiple cats, you've got to have the right combination, the right cats together, otherwise it can get really ugly.
absolutely. We run into that a lot. Oh, this is
Yep.
Butter, and Butter and his housemate Morgan, who's a female cat. Uh, they are living.
Aw.
That's Morgan. They are not bonded and can go separately, but their mom has stage 4 terminal cancer, and she just entered hospice care, and none of the family members can take Butter and Morgan. So they are desperately seeking a home for these 2 kitties. Their Butter is 12 years old, and Morgan is 13 years old. So they still have a lot of life left in them. And
Absolutely.
Morgan had to have an eye removed because of a tumor behind the eye, but she's doing very well. Both
Okay.
sweet kitties, both in need of a home, can go separately. And they are located in Granite Falls, North Carolina.
I like Butter. Butter is adorable. Butter looks like my very first cat that I got. Oh gosh, 1985. He's cute. All right. So who's this?
Okay, well, this cat started out, his name was Todd. And we were contacted because he was living in South Carolina. And he's another one of those cats that the family thought he did not like other cats. And that's why he urinated everywhere. He would get on the bed and urinate on the people. He would urinate on other cats. He would urinate in his own water dish. And they thought it was all
Right.
because of the other cats. So we managed to that we needed to do an emergency placement because the people said they were going to have him euthanized, and they gave us 3 days to find him a placement. So we have a
Right.
wonderful foster mom in Hendersonville, and she has a house full of cats, including several of our cats. And she took them in and kept them separate from the other cats to begin with, but then started integrating him with the other cats, and he is perfectly fine. It's all about the energy of the home. And you know, I truly believe different homes have different energies, and he was not
Sure.
connecting with the energy in his former home. And he is his foster mom ended up adopting him because 3 days
Aw.
after she let him out with the other cats, she said, "This cat isn't going anywhere. He is a total sweetheart, and all he
Aw.
wants is love." So he is living in a house full of cats without any problems. So that just goes to
Awesome.
prove that there is a home for every cat.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it really is about like ours that was peeing. I mean, she was peeing on our kitchen counters, which nothing worse than peeing on your kitchen counters. It's like, really? And now that we have figured out the combination of what she needs to keep her happy, it's not an issue at all. So with cats, it really is. You have to be a little kitty psychologist to figure out what they need.
That's right. I tell you, peeing on an
Who's this
electric
handsome
stove is
dude?
really bad.
Yeah, I had one that peed in my toaster, and we found out
Oh.
when we put the bagel in. It's right. It smelled really bad. Yeah,
That's really
cats. Gotta
bad,
love them.
yes.
Yeah. Who's this?
Okay, this is Jack. He's 9 years old and he's declawed. And the people adopted him just a year ago. And the reason they want to rehome him is because he has chronic diarrhea. And they're not willing to work with a vet and, you know, trying different foods and supplements and so forth to solve the problem. They just want to rehome Jack. So we have received other cats with chronic diarrhea, and we have found a winning combination for each cat. It might
Yep.
take a while, but eventually we have been able to solve every, you know, diarrhea cat. Um, so he's looking for a home. He's located in Wilkes County, North Carolina, so that's actually west of us. But we are looking for a foster home or adopter, somebody who's willing to work with him. He's a perfectly
So
lovely cat, other than
if
his
if
diarrhea
someone
issue.
if someone took him in as a foster, then does Laps and Naps work with the foster parent to get the issue figured out?
Well, because we don't have a facility and we don't have our own vet clinic, we work with the vets that are close to the foster homes. In the Asheville area, we love working with the Cat Clinic of Asheville. We have another vet we work with in Hendersonville. But for our outliers, whatever, hopefully a holistic vet in that area that we can work with. But we try to make it easy for the foster family, and we provide all their medical care. We provide the
Okay.
expenses, so the vet needs to be willing to call us for payment.
Right.
But we provide medical care, and we will provide food and litter if necessary for the
Awesome.
foster cats.
That's awesome. And so how long ago did you start doing this? Did Laps and Naps start? 21 you said, right?
Well, we started in 2020, and in all of 2020, because that was during the pandemic and the country shut down, we had one cat that died of cancer 8 weeks after we got him. In 2021, we took in more cats, and we actually adopted out 9 senior cats. In 2022, we adopted out, I believe it was 36 senior cats,
Nice.
and so far in 2023, we have adopted out 53 senior cats.
Wow.
And plus, we have 14 in foster care, and we have 21 in sanctuary homes, which is a cross between a foster and an adoption. So,
Is
for
that
the
sort of a
people who
forever foster?
it is. They are no longer on the adoption list, and we continue to pay their medical expenses for the remainder of their lives, but they stay in the same home. This is for people who would adopt a senior cat, but they're afraid of the expense of caring for a senior cat, especially the medical expenses.
Sure.
So we have to be careful how many sanctuary homes we set up because we can't afford to support everybody for the remainder of their lives.
Exactly. Exactly.
So usually it's the older cats, the sicker cats, the harder to adopt cats that
Sure.
end up in sanctuary homes.
And
This handsome fella,
yeah, who's this?
this is Oliver Wendell Holmes, and he is 12 years old. He's located in Hendersonville. Both of his people had to go into skilled nursing care, and he's currently alone in the house with a caregiver coming in once a day to take care of him. So we are desperately seeking a foster home or adopter for him, and he's just so handsome, we can't understand why somebody hasn't stepped up yet.
Aw, he's cute. So are all of the cats that are looking for forever homes, foster homes, whatever, they're on your website?
The majority of them are on our website. And if you're on social media, which most people watching you would be, we also have Facebook and Instagram. And you'll
Under
see the
Laps and
most
Naps?
recent cats. Yes, you'll see
Okay.
the most recent cats on
Mhm.
social media, but we do try to keep the website up to date.
Awesome. This
But
is so cool.
we're contacted.
So so if people want to donate, they can do that through your website. They can also do that through our website for during our cyber sale, which ends tonight at midnight, I believe. But there is a link on there where people can donate directly, and we are giving a portion of all sales to our two rescue organizations that we chose for Cyber Week. And we are very happy to be sponsoring Laps and Naps as our kitty cat rescue this year. So thank you for all the work that you do, Nancy. It's great. I have such a soft spot for seniors, and cats are tricky. Although I have to say, we brought in adopted a dog at the beginning of 23 that it's the only time I've ever adopted from a shelter and not through a
Mhm.
foster home. Oh, man, when you know nothing about their background, it is really
Right.
tricky. Like, he has been really tricky. So this is great. These are cats coming from foster care or coming from private homes. Do you also, if a shelter called you with a senior cat, would you take those as well?
Yes, if we can find an open home for it, we will take it. We've pulled at least 10 cats from a shelter or from various shelters this year. So if we have a home available, we'll pull the senior cats from the shelters.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's so hard when and we were talking about this with the dogs earlier, particularly with a senior pet parent going in, passing away or going into assisted living, not able to have the pet and nobody else in the family can take the pet. It becomes very
Mhm.
difficult, and so much better for them to have a soft landing in a place like Laps and
Oh,
Naps
yeah.
rather than having a very hard landing at a shelter, because it is emotionally very, very difficult for these animals. So I really appreciate what you are doing, and I'm very thankful that there are organizations like yours out there.
Well, thank you, and thank you so much for featuring us today. We're very grateful to you.
Well, hopefully you will get some donations. I know donations have been coming in through the website. So sometime, hopefully by the end of the week, Gwen will be reaching out to you and letting you know what we'll be sending you in a check. So for anyone who wants to donate, you can go to lapsandnaps.org to their website, or you can do it through our website, drjudymorgan.com. Everyone have a wonderful rest of your day. And Nancy, thank you so much for all that you're doing.
Thank you.